happens to you. This is my name, Munta시르, and Munta시르 means vector. So I hope that by the end of this you will find some signs of vector. I will start from my profession, as currently I teach Arabic for non-native speakers, and I will start from my work, where many people think Arabic is one of the most difficult languages in the world. And by the way, so don't feel very happy as Koreans, because you are as well sharing the same misery that we have as Arabs. Actually, all of this is about perspectives. So this is from the perspective of English speakers. And it's not necessarily correct when it comes to us as different people from different cultures, because each one of us would have a stand, and it depends where you stand, you see the perspective differently. So it's the object is the object, that's the fact. But when we see it, that's where it differs. So, and this will take us to the journey of the letters. So I will start from the end. The end is ISO 639. That's where Arabic is on the computers. Okay? But that's the end of the journey. But the beginning of the journey is in something called semantics, as you were introduced to it. I will pass through this very quickly because I understood from my colleagues in the museum that we'll have some students. So I will pass some of this information that it was originated in Genesis, where we had this term. So the terminology is very important. And then it was by Chaucer, and as Semitic people and Semite and Semitic languages. So we have all of these terms that we should know where they were originated from. And they bring us to the nations and languages. These are the place of Arabs. What are Arabs, actually? Because when we were talking about different languages, does every language represent one nation, or does the nation, or if the nation is represented by only one language? So that confusion between people and their languages should be looked at differently, because some races, different races might speak the same language, and the same race might speak different languages. So we should know that all this area that's known now as Arabia, then it was different nations or different sub-nations. So all of that should be looked at really thoroughly, and all of what we represent here and present here for you is our own perspective, and is subject to your own thorough evaluation as people, because nowadays it's not about the content, it's about verifying the content. So you as a student or PhD student, master students that we have here, your job is not to have content. Your job is to verify the content and to check whether the content is correct or not, and to question all types of questions that we're going to have today. So this is where Arabic language is. Arabic language could be derived from this line of South Semitics, and it's connected to Canaan. However, this is a new look that some people look at different Semitic languages. So even the divisions in Semitic languages have changed in the recent years. And looking into that, sometimes we may confuse the languages with the scripts, okay? Because, as example, you have Romaji in Korean. Romaji, it's like Roman writing things in Roman script. Yeah, Romaji. So that doesn't mean that Korean is Latin, and doesn't mean that if I write, as example, Arabic in Latin script, doesn't mean that Arabic became part of European cultures. So we should differentiate between that, and this is where the earliest evidence of Arabic was found. As we will see, it was 86 AD in inscription of Ain Avdat inscription. And later on, it became one of the most spoken languages in the world. So Semitic as a script, we are here amongst these languages derived from Aramaic root. I didn't take this root. I do not believe that it was part of Syriac. On the contrary, directly from Aram. So this is the script of Arabic taken from Marathi. So this is the map of ancient Arabia. And these are the different languages. However, this was in 2018. Recently, we found in 2015 many inscriptions that changed our own perspective on Arabic writing in Najran. So in the past, we were talking about Arabic script, and Arabic script mostly here in Levantine, but nowadays it's a different story. I will not touch on this because my colleagues have talked about it. So it started with the Aleph in Semitic languages. Aleph is an ox, and they abstracted, and then Beit is a house, so it became B. So if you square the B in English, that's house. And the G for Gemel is a camel, and it used to be a G, as you've seen in my colleagues' slides, and then the D, if you square it, it's a Dalet, which is a door, and so on and so forth. So the M is mine, which is water, and that's why the M is it takes that shape. So it's an abstract, and that shows the development and improvement of the human beings' approach to their thoughts. So this, you would see this, and I will not go through this because you've seen better slides than this. When we talk about Arabic then, like any other language, we're not talking about one side or one aspect. We're talking about many different things. So Arabic is a syntax that makes the language what it is. This is the most important. However, the lexicon travels, the words travel. So we might use words from different languages, and they would use words from us. We have phonology, pragmatics, semantics, morphology, orthography. All of this is part of the language. So language is not only one facade only. Language is more than that. So Arabic was written in non-Arabic script at the beginning because we didn't have, so Arabs were represented in different cultures. Were represented in South Arabia in this inscription, which is from Qaryat al-Faw. Qaryat al-Faw was the capital of Kinda, and this guy was talking about dedicating a grave for his brother and the wife of the brother and their children and so on for their death. And this was written in Greek, and it talks again about about a guy, so it's Arabic, and at the end, and of course, the Qanun, which is in December. Yeah, Qanun, yeah. So all of this inscription that was published in 2015 by Al-Jalad and Manasir, all of this used, it was whole in Arabic, used Greek script. So Arabs use different scripts. Like now we use Arabizi, which is written in Arabic in Latin scripts. And young people sometimes, because they don't want to change the keyboard, they would write to each other in Arabic, in Latin, in English script. So it's like writing Korean in Latin script. And that's me when I was a bit younger. So we were talking about that, whether it's a good idea to encourage people to write in Arabizi or not. And I don't mind that as long as they speak Arabic. Yeah, so later on, especially in the year 86 AD, CE Common Era, we had Ayn that inscription, which is bilingual. It was written in Latvian, and here we have two lines in Arabic that I published a few papers about this, because it is very important, earliest evidence of Arabic language. And it was in poetry, so it was not a language in its embryonic stages. It was a well-developed language with high level of literature. And this is Rakush inscription, which is again with a lot of Arabic influence. So it's in Nabatean Arabic. So we will have the L, which is that in Arabic. Usually, for those who are not familiar with the language transfer, we might have language transfer easily from one language to another, but the things that we would not easily transfer are the pronouns, the demonstratives, the definition articles, and the morphological level. So these are things that we do not easily transfer. And these were found here, many of them. So Arabic expanded a lot with the expansion of Islam. So it was rapid expansion of Arabic. Many different nations started to speak Arabic. Some of them are not Arabs, yet they became Arabs. How is that? Actually, in Arabic culture, Al-Arabiyyatu al-Lisan. Arabic is the tongue. So if you speak Arabic, you are an Arab. So Arabic became something beyond race. It became a culture of the people who speak it, rather than the people who are the descendants of that race. So the Quranic phenomenon was part of that expansion, because the message of Islam was through the Quran, and the Quran is a message in Arabic. So many of these nations, in order to become Arabs, and they started to speak Arabic, they would recite their prayers in Arabic, as you will find with my esteemed colleague, Professor Yun, later on when she talks about the manuscripts in Arabic. So the Quranic manuscript in particular. And this is one of the manuscripts of the Quran. So as for Arabic script, originated in this area of Nabatea, as you've seen in some previous presentations, and that's where this is the Phoenician, And this is the, I will not go to where Professor Antonius went, I will go down there. So this is the Arabic. If we go there, this is the early Arabic. And if we go there, this is the Nabatean. So if we want to write the name of Kim as example, we'll use Ka, and we'll use the Ya, and then the Mim. So if you want to write it in Nabatean, then we'll go this way, Ka, Ya, then we'll go for the Ma, for the Ma. So Ya, Ya, Ma. And this is how you write it in Phoenician. It's not easy to write in abjad letters. So the first inscription is T Nafsh. This is the Mara's inscription, T Nafsh. This is the stela or the pitstone of the grave of Imru al-Qais. He was the king of Arabs, and probably those who speak Arabic, Malik. If you see the kaf, and this is the A. The A is taken from still early Arabic al-Arab. Al-Arab, Malik al-Arab. Malik al-Arab, the king of Arabs. So when it has al-Arab, then we see that it's different. As for this is Jabal Usais. Again, we see that the letters became clearer. However, if we go to Sharhal, Ana, Sharhal or Sharhil, Bar, it could be Bar, borrowed from Aramaic, or it could be Ben, which is Arabic, Bar, Talmo, and so on. And then you would have the dating system at the bottom. However, later on, and that was as we've seen, that was in the year Harran 568. So that was with the advent of Islam, when we had the letters of the Prophet going to the different kings and rulers around Arabia to invite them to the new religion. So this parchment was found, and it is almost early 7th century. But this was found only 20 years ago, very early inscription, a very early manuscript of the Quran, and it's preserved in the library in Birmingham. In the UK, it's about 570 to 632, I would say, more into the early 7th century. Because before then, it was very, very early time after the Prophet. So the Prophet, he received the message at the age of 40 plus 570 at least. It would be after 610. But the docking system to have dots was not introduced till later. However, that was until 10 years ago. That was our assumption. This was the earliest in the 6th to 7th century. So that was the earliest attested inscription. However, we found many inscriptions in Harran that changed the whole story. And the beauty of Harran, that there were a group of Christians who followed Christianity, and then they were tortured, and that's not the beautiful side of it. The beauty of it is that they were Christian Arabs. Now, the story of these people, that they were tortured because of their belief, and that story was mentioned in different scripts and in the Quran, in the story of the Hud. This is another inscription. I will just try to save time. Later on, different items and parchments were used. The Gothic system was not introduced until later on, so Arabic was written with no dots. it was introduced later on systematically, I would say, and it became part of the story. However, this is very interesting, and I would not use a lot of my time. How long do I have? 5 minutes. Yeah. So, because I thought that nobody's stopping me, so this is a manuscript by someone called Ibn Muqla. Ibn Muqla introduced how to write Arabic in a calligraphic way and to give values to the letters in these. That was somehow in the 3rd century Hijri, which makes it 10th century CE, 10th century Common Era. So 10 centuries ago we had it developed that way, and Ikhwan Mustafa introduces different philosophy. So writing the letters became part of philosophical ideas. So we had different forms. However, Arabic has a soft power. So despite the fact that Arabic started as a language, but Arabic had a very significant, I would say, influence on many people around the world. So it's used as a language, it's used as a script in Urdu, Farsi, and others. It's used as a creole in some of these parts of the world. Creole, if you are not familiar with the term, when people mix somehow the language. So I would not go into the technical side of this. However, Arabic was refused by some nations like Turks after Atatürk in the early 20th century, because he felt that he wants to make a new Turkey, and this new Turkey to have different scripts and to somehow apart them from the Arabs. You can see some of these codes in the book. And Somalia as well, they had the same story in the 1960s, yet in the 1970s they changed their script into Latin. So this is Arabic. I hope that by now you can read it. After all of those slides. Yeah? Can you read this? No? Probably you can read this. No? Okay. So, can you read this? Okay, this is the dotting and the mark. So, this is another one. So, features of Arabic script, and I will finish by that because I have 2 minutes and a half. Right? I have 5 minutes. Okay, so Arabic, the beauty of Arabic is dead easy language dead easy script to learn. So the script is very easy to learn because each grapheme represents one phoneme, and each phoneme is represented by one grapheme. So no hidden agendas, as we say. Okay, so unlike English, when you have almost, by the way, reading English is so complicated to an extent that it would reach between 250 to 450 ways of producing sounds in English. So all of those who think that English is easy, okay, compare English to any of the Semitic languages and you would find Semitic languages are very, very easy to learn, okay? And this is me checking on how script transfer, okay? When people are confused, English speakers, this is ta, ha, ra, ya. Ta, ha, ra, tigri, instead of 3, okay? And enough, form, fan. So as we said, no silent letters in Arabic, and the ligatures. We have a very specific way, very artistic way to link letters. You can reach all what I've said, and even in a better fashion in many of these books. yet you are the judge and many thanks.
문타시르 알하마드 교수님께서 비문학, 필사본 문화, 종교 전통 등 다층적인 관점에서 아랍문자의 기원과 발전 과정을 심도 있게 분석해 주셨습니다. 국내에서는 접하기 힘든 어려운 귀중한 자료를 소개해 주신 점 감사드립니다. 특히 쿨한 기록을 계기로 아랍문자가 기술적 매체에서 운명적 상징으로 발전하는 과정은 문자가 가진 문화적 소프트파워를 잘 보여주는 인상 깊은 사례였습니다. 다시 한번 알하마드 교수님께 큰 박수